Hello everybody and welcome back to the Backlogs channel, and I, along with all of you, just got some very exciting news. Pre-orders for the Switch 2 have been relaunched, and now they are only going to be 6 days away as of the date of this video. 4/18/2025, they are expected to come out 4/24/2025 or April 24th, 2025. Now, a lot of people thought Nintendo was just going to cancel pre-orders, or even worse, mark up a lot of the games and a lot of the console itself. People were worried that the reason that they moved out the original pre-order date, which was about a month ago at this point, was because the whole tariff situation in America, and that also affected Canada. Even though there was no tariffs there, they also got rid of the pre-orders there and stuff like that. So this is really good news. It's good to know that the Switch 2 is still coming out June 5th, just as much as they always thought, but I'm pretty sure we already knew that. I think Nintendo said no matter what, the console's still coming out June 5th. But alongside this news, we also got some new prices for a few of the things. Now, I know you might be thinking, you just said that the Switch games and the console aren't going to be moved in price. I did say that, but we did get a list of a few things that will be changing in price due to, again, the tariff situation and then having to make some more money and just everything in consideration after the original move. So, down the list, I have a list of everything and their dates. Everything important, no games or anything, because those are going to stay the same, except for a few. But starting off the list, we got the Switch 2 itself, just the console. It's going to stay at $450. It was originally shown off at $450. It's going to stay $450. But the next item, the Nintendo Switch 2 plus Mario Kart World, the bundle, it was announced to be $500. It is still $500, but only on launch. This bundle is only going to stay around until fall of this year. I do not understand why. Maybe because at a certain point the price of the game is going to go up and the console is going to go up due to like tariffs forcing them to, and they're just trying to get as many people to get the game at a very nice discounted price as possible. But I think it would just be too many complications for them to keep this bundle and change the price of that alongside the game itself. They're trying to get as many people to get this game day one as possible, is what I'm thinking. They want people to see, oh, the next Mario Kart did as good as Mario Kart 8 Deluxe did on launch, if not better. So yes, this game is worth it. Is worth the $80. It's just a little scummy. It's a little scummy. It's like Nintendo gives us this huge price, which I just talked about in another Backlogs video. They give us this huge price for the Mario Kart World game, $80. They don't explain why it's $80, but to sweeten us up a little bit, they give us a bundle that makes the game worth $50, $30 less than the average industry price of what it's going to be by itself, because it's bundled in. But it's only going to last a few months. And then after those few months, it's gone. Like it never happened, and then people will see, oh, all these people bought this game. This game has this many sales, and it's $80. It must be worth the price if this many people bought it. Let me also buy it. I don't know. I'm thinking that's the thought, because I don't know what else would be. But if that is the thought, that is extremely scummy. But, I mean, again, I talked about this a little bit more, why Mario Kart World is not worth $80, just to put it bluntly. It's just not. You could get Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and basically get the exact same but experience out of the game as if you bought Mario Kart World, but you'd be buying it for $20 cheaper. And, you know, the Switch 2 is backwards compatible, so it'll play both of them, so I mean, to the average consumer, yes, it's not that big of a difference. But anyways, I talked about that more in my other video. Go check that out if you want. So the next thing is Mario Kart World. It's still at $80 again. Just talked about that. So moving on, Donkey Kong Bonanza. This one is staying at $70. Now, I forgot to kind of mention this in my other video, but I think the only way that Nintendo has, in any way at all, talked about why the prices are the way they are, why Mario Kart World is 80 and why Donkey Kong Bonanza and pretty much everything else is 70, is they're starting this thing called variable pricing, where they see a game and see how much work they put into a game, and then they price it based on that. They don't price it based on industry standards and how it quote unquote should be based on how everyone else is pricing their stuff. Nintendo's trying to start a new thing, which I have a feeling is going to catch fire and everyone's going to do it. But the problem with this thinking, variable pricing just shows to the average consumer, hey, Donkey Kong Bonanza is worth $70, but Mario Kart World is worth $80. So does that mean they just didn't put as much work into Donkey Kong Bonanza, that therefore making it a worse game and not worth my money? Should I even buy Donkey Kong Bonanza now? Because it's not even good. It's not as good as Mario Kart World, obviously, so I should just buy that one, and then you get no sales of Donkey Kong Bonanza, and people think your game is bad because it's worth less money-wise, which you're saying is worth less value-wise within the game. So it doesn't make sense to do this. They're shooting themselves in the foot. But, you know, it's easy to say this stuff now. Let's just wait till the games come out. Let's just see what the audience of people say. You can say whatever you want, but until it happens, then you don't know. You don't know for sure. But moving on, so this is the first thing that has moved up. So the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro controller was originally going to be $80, I'm pretty sure. Now it has moved to $85. And same with the Joy-Con 2 pair. I'm pretty sure it was originally going to be $90. It is now $95. So it's just a $5 difference. But you gotta remember, the Switch 1 Pro controller was originally $70. So they already increased it by 10. And all they did was add an audio jack and 2 paddle buttons on the back. Adding an extra 5 now means that they think this controller is worth $15 more. I don't know if that's bad or good, or if it's worth it or not, but apparently it is, I guess. But it is definitely more expensive. It's more expensive. Same with the Joy-Con pair. The Joy-Con 2 pair specifically, sorry. The Joy-Con 1 pair was $80. If you wanted a pair of Joy-Con 1s, a new pair, you had to pay $80. Fork up some $80, the same price as Mario Kart World, and we'll give you a new pair of Joy-Cons because your old ones got Joy-Con drifted after, a month of using them. But give us $80 because we don't make our controllers good enough. That's basically what they're doing. Joy-Con 2 pairs, I have a feeling a lot of people are going to have to buy almost $100 controllers to replace their Joy-Con 2s because it looks like Joy-Con 2 don't get rid of the piece that made the Joy-Con 1s stick drift. So, a lot of people are going to have to buy the Joy-Con 2s. So, it's just another way for Nintendo to make some a little extra scummy money. Now the Joy-Con 2 charging grip, I'm pretty sure was originally $30 and it's now moved up to $40. You can't quote me on that, but a big one I'm seeing is the Joy-Con 2 strap. Looks like singular strap is $14. Now if you know, Undertale and Hollow Knight are both worth $15. So you're saying that if you want to get 2 of these straps, that would equal $28, $2 less to put on these pieces of plastic on your controller to make the top buttons feel a little bit extra more comfortable and to be able to use the mouse mode a little bit better. That's $2 cheaper than two of the biggest indie games ever created, especially in our generation. Especially Deltarune is literally gonna be like $15, and it's coming out day one for the Switch 2, and it's gonna have 4 different chapters of game. That's gonna be up to like 30 hours of gameplay, if not 40, and that is worth that much less than 2 pieces of plastic that go on your controller. That is crazy. That is crazy. But it's just another stingy way of Nintendo getting money. The Joy-Con 2 wheel set is going to be $25. I don't know what that was originally, but it seems like that's probably an increase in price too, probably by $5, I'd assume. The Nintendo Switch 2 camera is gone up by $5. It was originally $50. It's now gone up to $55. Now, it looks like the Switch 2 dock set has gone up to $120. Then I think that's what it was already at. So you can't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure. The Switch 2 carrying case and screen protector are $40. I don't know what that was originally, but I'm pretty sure the Switch 2 all-in-one carrying case was $80. It's now $85. It looks like if you want a new Switch 2 AC adapter, so basically what the power supply of the console, it's now $35 instead of $30. I'm pretty sure that's true. Don't quote me on it. And the final thing up here is Samsung Micro SD Express card. The 256 gigabyte one for the Switch 2 is going to be $60 at launch. I'm pretty sure that was the original price, but I'm not sure. Again, don't quote me. There's been a few price increases, but good news, the console hasn't been increased, the games haven't been increased, nothing that you have to buy day one has been increased today. It has not, which is a very good news. It's a very good thing, and we just got to thank Nintendo. Throw them a bone. Let's throw Nintendo a bone. No, you know what? They threw us a bone for once. If this came back and there was no pre-orders, or even if there was pre-orders and the prices of everything increased by 45%, like people were thinking they might have, then that would have been probably the final straw for Nintendo. People would have been like, yep, not getting your console. It would have done a worse than Wii U launch, and that would have been it. That would have probably ruined Nintendo's company. But they at least gave us this, and you might think I'm being sarcastic, but it's happened before. We've been in this position before, with that, not the Taro situation, obviously, but the whole Wii U situation is looking very similar to how the Switch 2 one is, but we'll just have to wait and see at this point. That's all I really wanted to talk about today. I just wanted to talk about how there is pre-orders again, was very good news, and the prices have only gone up on a few things by like $5, which is definitely best case scenario. And yeah, thank you everybody so much for watching. See you in the next Backlogs video. Bye bye.